Hello everyone, got a few dirty jokes for you today. So an old man crying on the corner. Another man approaches him and asks, "What's wrong, buddy?" The old man says, "I live with a millionaire supermodel wife who cooks, cleans, and makes mind-blowing love with me every night." The other man asks, "That sounds amazing. Why are you crying?" The old man says, "I forgot where I live." So little Johnny's mother was upset about her son's swearing habit, so she takes him to the church. There, the priest is waiting. After finishing her own confessions, little Johnny's mother talks about her situation. "I don't know what to do with my son anymore, Father," she says. "He started a while ago to say swear words, and now he is saying one in every sentence." "Why, I have just the perfect solution," the priest smiles. "How is he financially?" "I mean, does your son have a piggy bank or something?" "He keeps his savings. Once in a while he gets one coin or two," the mother replies. "Very well," the priest exclaimed. "Make him donate 10 cents for the church for each time you catch him or know from someone that he said a swear word. Come back at the end of the month with him to give to the poor box everything he owes. Maybe financial pressure will control him." "Great, Father." The mother grinned. "I'll start today." At the end of the month, the mother comes back to the church. She seems unamused. The priest noticed her bad mood and asked, "So, tell me how it went." "Yeah, Father, he is quite a chatterbox. He owes $9.90, the mother revealed, then turning to her son. "Little Johnny, come here. Give the money to the priest." Little Johnny comes, quite ashamed, and hands the priest a $10 bill. $10. The priest said, "I'm afraid I don't have 10 cents to do change." "Oh, Father, don't worry," little Johnny smiled. "Just go screw yourself and we're even." So little Johnny wants a BMX bike, so he gets down on his knees and writes a letter to God. It says, "Dear God, if I'm good for 1 month, will you get me a BMX bike?" He carefully folds the letter and leaves it at the end of the bed. He lies down under the covers and thinks for a moment. 1 month is too long to be good. He gets up and tears up the letter and writes another one. "Dear God, if I'm good for 1 week, will you get me a BMX bike?" He folds the letter and then thinks no. 1 week is too long. He writes another letter. "Dear God, if I'm good for 1 day, will you get me a BMX bike?" Looking at the letter, he screws it up. 1 day is too long. He jumps out of his window and heads to the local church. He grabs the statue of Mary, rolls it up in a blanket, rushes back home and shoves it under his bed. He then writes another letter. "Dear God, if you want to see your mother again." So a driver slows down for a stop sign, but he doesn't actually stop. A cop sees him and pulls him over. The driver says, "Is there a problem, officer?" The cop said, "You just ran a stop sign back there." The driver said, "What are you talking about?" "I slowed down." The cop replied, "But you didn't actually stop." The driver said, "Slow, stop, what's the diff?" The cop replied, "Get out of car." The driver stepped out of the vehicle, puzzled. Then the cop started beating the living crap out of the driver. The driver cried, "What the hell is the matter with you?" The cop responded, "Okay, I can slow down this beating or I can stop this beating. So do you want me to slow or do you want me to stop?" Little Johnny is in grade 2 class when the teacher says, Okay, boys and girls, today we are going to learn a new word. She writes the word on the chalkboard and asks, who knows how to say our new word? Little Johnny, who is sitting in the back, puts his hand up and yells, "Oh, I know, pick me, pick me." The teacher knows little Johnny is a troublemaker, and he will probably say something silly, so she looks for someone else. Little Susie is in the front row holding her hand up patiently and politely. The teacher says, "Yes, Susie, how do we say our new word?" Little Susie takes her time reading the word and says, "Contagious." The teacher says, "Very good, Susie. Now, who can use our new word in a sentence?" Again, little Johnny in the back yells, "Oh, I can. Pick me. Pick me." The teacher looks for someone else to pick, but no other students have their hands up, so she says, "Okay, Johnny, let's hear your sentence." Little Johnny says, "My dad used that word just yesterday. My mom was mowing the lawn while my dad was sitting on the sun deck drinking a beer. The lawnmower died and my mom was trying to get it started again, but she kept pulling the cord and it just wouldn't start. My dad watched her and laughed. Then he took a big sip of beer and said to me, 'You know, Johnny, it is going to take that cunt ages to get that lawnmower going again.'" So a woman and a baby were in the doctor's examining room waiting for the doctor to come in for the baby's first exam. Finally, the doctor arrived, examined the baby, checked his weight, and being a little concerned, asked if the baby was breastfed or bottle-fed. "Breastfed," she replied. "Well, we'll have to check you out." "All right then, strip down to your waist," the doctor ordered. She undressed and the doctor began his exam. He pinched, then pressed, kneaded, and rubbed both breasts for a while in a detailed examination. He frowned, then continued squeezing and pressing for a few more minutes. Motioning to her to get dressed, he said, "No wonder this baby is underweight. You don't have any milk." "I know," she said. "I'm his grandma, but I'm certainly glad I came." So 3 sisters of age 92, 94, and 96 live in a house together. One night the 96-year-old draws a bath, puts her foot in and pauses. She yells down the stairs, "Was I getting in or out of the bath?" The 94-year-old yells back, "I don't know, I'll come up and see." She starts up the stairs and pauses, then she yells, "Was I going up the stairs or coming down?" The 92-year-old was sitting at the kitchen table having tea listening to her sisters. She shakes her head and says, "I sure hope I never get that forgetful." She knocks on wood for good measure. She then yells, "I'll come up and help both of you as soon as I see who's at the door." Grandma calls and announces that she will be coming by for a visit in about half an hour. When she comes, she is surprised to see her grandchild running to her as if possessed and hugging her with all his tiny might. "What is it, Eric?" she asks. "Now that you're here, Grandma, we have everything." "Whatever do you mean?" inquired the surprised Granny. "When you called, Mom said, that's all we need right now. So now that you're here, we have all we need."